Welcome to Kashmir University's weekly video digest Quest. First, a look at the highlights. Governor lays foundation stone of Science and Technology block at Zakura campus. Chancellor interacts with civil service aspirants. Professor Talat delivers special lecture at Academic Staff College. DLL and NCPUL organize 2-day workshop on syllabus development in paper mache. And NSS holds 7-day orientation course for its officers. Now the details of these events with your host Mir OS. Governor and Chancellor, University of Kashmir, Mr. Narendra Nath Vohra led the foundation stone of Science and Technology block at Zakura campus. Vice Chancellor, University of Kashmir, Professor Talat, along with the top officials and academics, were present on the foundation stone laying ceremony. Mr. Vohra had a prolonged discussion with the engineers and architects on the construction of building and other aspects of the Zakura campus. Later, speaking to the academics and officials of the university, Chancellor said that the physical expansion of the university is must for its development.
All these years, I am sorry to say that we have not thought enough and timely about expansion of the physical side of the university. It's very important, and also of what new activities or what new facilities. The university cannot be moribund. You come up to a point and just do annual admissions and annual exams. That at the end of it, no, I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that, because if it remains like that, then university loses its character, its entity, its reputation, its esteem.
Mr. Vohra advised the audience that one should have a zeal in protecting and preserving one's assets.
I was telling Talat Saab that if we have a beautiful aesthetic campus here, it will remain like that for a long time to come. A place of beauty, place of joy, students working here, faculty working here, all feel part of a certain dynamism. How is it that we go to Oxford, Cambridge? These are 700-year-old buildings. Nothing has been done to the facade. The inside has been repaired, improved, modernized. I was living in a room in Oxford University, which was at my time, that's more than 50, 60 years ago, a 650-year-old room. The toilet had been modernized. The windows had been double glazed, but the window facade was untouched. Their heritage consciousness, their architectural concepts, layout, they are very, very selfish about not allowing any change to come about. So we should have a similar selfishness about our own assets.
Speaking on the occasion, Vice Chancellor Professor Talat Ahmed thanked Chancellor for his support and cooperation.
When he comes here, at least we will ask him to lay this foundation stone, and also he will get an idea how things are, and wherever there is any difficulty, he has been always helping. So I will ask him to use his good offices to see that the small piece of land that we are actually after, if we get that, so we will have a better access to the main road.
Registrar Professor Zafar Ahmed Rishi presented a brief background of the Zakura campus.
Campus is coming up at an estimated cost of about 53 crores in the first phase. And then the UGC University Grants Commission has sanctioned 7 projects in all. Incidentally, the University Grants Commission has sanctioned all the 7 projects that we had reflected in our plan. And then what they have suggested is that they have made part funding, and then partly they say that it could be taken up with the state government. That is a very good thing. It's not this that they have supported us in 3 projects and then left 3 no. They have supporting us in all the 7 projects, and then they are giving full payment, basically bearing full expenditure in 3 of the projects, and in rest they are basically supporting us partly, and then that basically helps us to take up the matter with the government.
Staying with the governor's visit to the campus after foundation laying ceremony, Mr. Vohra interacted with aspirants of the civil services. The interaction session was held in the Gandhi Bhavan Conference Hall. The civil service aspirants are undergoing counseling at Center for Career Planning and Counseling. Mr. Vohra told civil service aspirants to blend commitment and confidence with the hard work, but cautioned them to be systematic in reading books.
Your hard work should be systematic. ये नहीं कि बेधड़क पढ़े चले जाओ, नहीं, जो पढ़ा उसको समझ लो, याद रखो. And reading too many books on the subject doesn't help. अब मैं अंग्रेजी में MA किया हुआ है, तो मैं अव्वल आया था उस साल. I didn't do too well in English for whatever reason. History was not my subject. I got 70%, 75%, 78%. I took 3 papers of history: Indian Advanced, and British history. That was not my subject. मेरे साथ BA Honours History, MA जो अव्वल आए हुए थे, they were all there, and I got more marks than all of them. I read just 1 book on Indian history, 1 book on Mughal history, 2 books on European history, British history. Notes तो खैर लेते ही थे, याद रखते के लिए. सवाल ये है कि it's all competition.
Vice Chancellor Professor Talat Ahmed thanked Chancellor for his keen interest.
I feel really honored to have him as our Chancellor, because he looks into all the aspects with so much interest that it makes my job very easy, because I have to be all the time trying to do something for the university. And when he showed interest to find out what is happening in the university in terms of the coaching that is being provided to you, I thought of calling him so that you can have a sort of interaction with Vohra-ji, who has been one of the senior most civil service person in the country.
Earlier, in his welcome address, Director CCPC Professor Shabir Ahmed Bhatt presented a profile of CCPC.
As one of the leading training centers committed to preparing students for various national and state level competitive examinations, besides providing training and employment opportunities within and outside the state. Your Excellency, around 15 top industrial houses visited the campus during the last 4 months, and 680 students were selected under the scheme Udan. Several other measures have been taken by the Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Talat Ahmed to enhance the employability of the students. Your Excellency, presently 78 students are enrolled for the IAS coaching program, and the faculty is from top-notch institutions of the country.
Later, a question and answer session was also held. Vice Chancellor, University of Kashmir, Professor Talat Ahmed delivered a special lecture to teachers participating in 3-week refresher course in Basic and Applied Sciences. The lecture was organized by Academic Staff College. Professor Talat delivered lecture on the topic Major Issues of the Earth System Sciences. Delivering his lecture, Professor Talat said that ancient India had an ocean on its north side.
Now we have a huge ocean south of India. Earlier there was a big ocean north of India, and the evidence is found, preserved. The best ones are preserved in, say, Ladakh and Kargil, that we still have part of the ocean floor rocks preserved in these hills in the Ladakh.
He said that the first aggression on the earth possibly occurred some 55 million years ago.
Maybe the first, I will not say collision, but first accretion occurred at 55 million. So 55 million year was a big event, but it was not the real event to form the Himalayas. Okay, so because of this number that we have, and you can see that you have these high pressure rocks, same rocks in Pakistan is about 46 million years, and in Nepal, it's about plus 20. So that means everywhere, and you can imagine that this is not a straight line that everything goes and hits the board. Okay, it is all uneven surface. So somewhere it will hit at different age. Maybe here it is faster than here, and this was the slowest.
Explaining the occurrence of the earthquakes, Professor Talat in his lecture said that they happen because of several seismic and abduction gaps in the Himalayan region.
How the Indian plate has gone under the Tibetan plate to form the Himalayan mountain belt. And then, of course, when there are faults which are developing, okay, so the Kangla, the Bihar, and the Assam, these faults, as I showed you the Oven fault, what you have also in Kashmir, so we will have these major earthquakes like Kangla earthquake and Bihar earthquake and Assam earthquake.
Directorate of Lifelong Learning, in collaboration with National Counseling for Promotion of Urdu Language, organized a 2-day workshop on syllabus development for 6-month certificate course in paper mache. The workshop was held in the administration block of the university. Director DLL Dr. Ghulam Hassan Mir, in his welcome address, said that Directorate from the past 2 years is reaching to every nook and corner of the valley.
हमने पिछले 2 सालों से तकरीबन वादी के हर तहसील और ज़िले में अपने वोकेशनल कोर्स ले लिए हैं और हमने ये अपनी लैब को शिफ्ट किया है कम्युनिटी में, जिससे लोगों तक हमने सिकल पहुंचाने में बहुत हर मुमकिन कोशिश की है और बहुत हद तक कामयाबी हासिल की है.
Director Craft Development Institute, Mr. M.S. Farouki, said that there is a need to empower artisans, and for that they have to be trained in scientific and systematic way.
जो चीज़ें अभी एक अनऑर्गेनाइज तरीके से हुई हैं उनके ऊपर एक साइंटिफिक ढंग से काम करना शुरू हुआ. कि सबसे बड़ी बात इसके अंदर यही है कि जब एजुकेशन के साथ हम इसको मिलाएंगे और हम पढ़े लिखे लोग जो हैं और जो दूसरी तरह से पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं, मतलब आर्टिशंस भी पढ़े लिखे हैं लेकिन दूसरी तरह से पढ़े लिखे हैं, तो उनका जो एक मेल हो और एक साइंटिफिक और सिस्टमेटिक ढंग से इसके ऊपर सोचा जाए, वो सबसे बड़ी बात है. तो मुझे लगता है कि इसके अंदर इस चीज़ का अचीवमेंट बहुत कारआमद होगा.
Dean Academic Affairs, Professor A.M. Shah, said that NCPUL has done tremendous work and its scope is very large.
NCPUL का जो स्कोप मैंने देखा, एक दिन हमारे इनके पास मीटिंग में हम थे, मुझे लगता है उनके साथ और भी कुछ प्रोग्राम्स और भी कुछ चीज़ें हैं जिसमें से कि उनका भी फ़ायदा होगा, क्योंकि उनका एक मिशन है कि सारे हिंदुस्तान में इस लैंग्वेज के ज़रिए हम किस तरीके से बहुत चीज़ें कर सकेंगे. क्योंकि एक MOU जो हमने डिज़ाइन किया हुआ है वो एक प्रोसेस में है, एक पूरा MOU हम इनके साथ करेंगे. यही कोर्स नहीं, जो बाकी चीज़ें भी है वो इनसे मिल के करनी है.
Vice Chancellor Professor Talat Ahmed said that designing a course on modern pattern will help artisans to strengthen their skill on marketing of their products.
यहाँ के एक कल्चरल हेरिटेज है, जो पहले से लोग इस तरह के काम करते हैं, उनको कुछ नए कॉन्सेप्ट्स मिलेंगे, जैसे ही बता रहे हैं कि कंप्यूटराइजेशन और कंप्यूटर असिस्टेंस होगी कुछ नए कॉन्सेप्ट्स डेवलप करने के लिए. और बाकी एक ये भी होगा कि जो लोग थोड़ा पिछड़ रहे हैं इस वजह से कि उनको कोई सर्टिफिकेशन नहीं होती है, उनके एम्पावरमेंट नहीं है, कि उनको कोई जॉब आसानी से इसलिए नहीं मिलती है कि उनके पास कोई कागज़ नहीं होता है, कोई सर्टिफिकेट नहीं होता दिखाने के लिए. तो ये एक अच्छी पहल है. मैं चाहता हूँ कि इसे जितना जल्दी से जल्दी इसे शुरू किया जाए.
Later, Vice Chancellor was shown various artifacts made by the artisans of the Kashmir. A 7-day orientation course held for the program officers of the National Service Scheme concluded. Various program officers from different colleges of Kashmir participated in the 7-day orientation course. At the inaugural function, Vice Chancellor, University of Kashmir, Professor Talat Ahmed was the chief guest. Program Coordinator, NSS Dr. Farooq Ahmed Khan, presented the welcome address.
I am grateful to our Vice Chancellor Saab, who in spite of his busy schedule made it possible to attend this function, and his presence has really created a great inspiration in all of us. Whenever we hold such kind of functions, he always is at our support, and it's all because of his directions, his able guidance, that we have been able to get the national award in NSS.
In his address, Professor Talat said that his endeavor is to put Kashmir University on global map. He said that it is important for the students to join these kinds of programs so that their energies are utilized in a better way.
It is very important to sensitize the students and the youth and put them on the right track so that it will have lots of impact in the J&K state as well as in the country. Okay, we are doing lots of such activity where we are trying to make the efforts of this university on the national scene. We have now lots of companies, first time in the history of Kashmir University, that almost daily we have some or the other corporate sector coming to take our students under campus interviews from the university, from the colleges, okay, and things are going in the right direction.
Honorary General Secretary, J&K State Branch of Indian Red Cross Society, Ms. Roma Wani, said that one must develop the habit of listening, as one never knows which part of the speech will touch the nerve cells of heart.
बात ये होती है कि सजदा करते रहो, क्योंकि उसके दर पे कौन सा कबूल होगा हमें पता नहीं है. We are all like little fish, you know. ये समंदर है ये दुनिया. हम मछली की तरह, आपने मछली को देखा है? But do you know when the fish drinks water? No. पानी उसके मुख में जा रहा है, लेकिन वो एक्चुअली वो मछली वो पानी पी रही है कि नहीं कि फिन्स में से निकल गया. तो हम भी वैसे ही हैं. इस दुनिया में मछलियां हैं. सब सुनते रहते हैं, लेकिन दिल को कब कौन सी बात चुभ जाए, इसलिए सुनते रहिए.
During the 7-day orientation course, program officers were trained in various activities. Training coordinator of Empaneled Training Institute, Chandigarh, Mr. Satveer Singh Malik, was the chief trainer. He gave various training method inputs to the participants. On the valedictory function, Dean Academic Affairs, Professor A.M. Shah, was the chief guest. Professor A.M. Shah, in his address, said that the aim of NSS is to make students aware of their social responsibility.
We are not preparing our students to start looking from a social point of view. Because if we are arranging some program or if we are doing some activity wherein we are helping some people, this is done. For example, I will quote this example. If you see what is the difference between a developed world and a developing world, or we can call that the world or underdeveloped world, the difference is the people there are, the students there are, for example, educated in the sense they are more concerned about their society, they are more concerned about their institutions. For instance, if in USA a company is polluting the environment and people come to know that a company is polluting the environment, nobody will purchase any commodity from that company.
Producer EMMRC and NSS Program Officer Mr. Tariq Abdullah conducted the proceedings of both inaugural and valedictory.
Basically, NSS is a noble cause which is being run everywhere in this country, and in our state also we have, University of Kashmir is having 160 such units in various districts, and it was not possible for us to accommodate all the program officers for representing every college, so we had the selected ones because the limitation was only 40 should be there. So we had invited only 40 NSS program officers. But in next training, definitely chance will be given to others also.
Later, all the participants were given certificates. That's all for today's episode. Log on to our website mmrckashmir.com to watch all the episodes of Quest. Mail us your feedback at quest@mmrckashmir.com. Before I take your leave, here are a few words of wisdom. We have got into the habit of calling too many things revolutions.